He doesn't sleep much. He does, of course.
Does he wear
needs to.
pajamas?
No.
Oh.
No. What does he wear when he sleeps, Melania?
Well, one of the things she...
Oh. But maybe hearing about Donald Trump's bedtime routine from Melania doesn't get your engines revving. Fortunately, the campaign also brought out someone for the ladies.
Former senior advisor to President Trump, Stephen Miller.
Melania says, "You are naked in bed." And he says, "And you are the first lady. Good luck."
Last week, Melania Trump sat poised on a morning show couch, describing her memoir as a thoughtful reflection on my time supporting America. 3 days later, Jordan Klepper had an audience in tears as he compared her White House decorating advice to a tacky Vegas casino owner with a gold spray paint addiction. By nightfall, Trump was hammering his phone keyboard, calling Klepper a talentless loser. And that's when things really exploded. What followed was a masterclass in how comedy can pierce the carefully constructed image of political royalty, and why Trump's defense only made things worse.
Melania Trump, former First Lady, and the only Slovenian you can name off the top of your head. Well, we don't see a lot of Melania, but she's also been on a media tour this week. Fox News, social media. She's out there because she's a supportive wife who believes in her husband's America first. I'm f***ing with you. She has a book to sell. We actually have a copy here. Yeah, this is it. This is her book. I want to read you a quick passage just to give you a feel for it. This is real.
Let me walk you through this spectacular backfire. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Did you know Melania Trump thought she could release a memoir without getting roasted? That's like walking into a comedy club wearing a kick me sign and expecting to leave with your dignity intact. Melania's book tour started innocently enough, with carefully choreographed Fox News appearances and social media posts. She was desperately trying to present herself as thoughtful and presidential. A tough sell when your husband's political brand is basically chaos in a red tie. Enter Jordan Klepper, comedy's version of a sniper, armed with nothing but Melania's memoir and that signature raised eyebrow that says, "I'm about to end this person's whole career." At first, his jokes seemed almost gentle, like he was just warming up the crowd, but as he flipped through the pages, you could see him finding the comedic gold mines buried in Melania's words.
As Donald prepared to go down to his office on Wednesday morning, he and I had a private moment. "Congratulations," I said. "What an achievement. All those other people. And you won."
Would you have married Donald Trump if you had a crystal ball that said he would be president?
That's a interesting question.
I gotta wipe away a tear on that one. That is a heartwarming moment that definitely wasn't created by ChatGPT.
The audience started chuckling, then giggling, then absolutely howling as Klepper's jokes went from mild ribbing to full-on savage takedowns. His precision was surgical, reading passages that sounded like they'd been written by ChatGPT after binge-watching The Real Housewives of New Jersey. Klepper's most devastating blow landed when he tackled Melania's chapter on cyberbullying. With perfect comedic timing, he pointed out the glaring irony that this section was written by the wife of the world's most famous Twitter troll. The audience practically needed oxygen at this point. The contradiction was just too perfect. But Klepper wasn't done yet. When he got to Melania's decorating advice for the White House, which apparently involved using only gold paint and pictures of yourself, the crowd completely lost it, as Klepper sarcastically called this approach revolutionary. You could feel the audience picturing the presidential residence transformed into what he described as a tacky Vegas casino. The mental image alone was enough to send people into fits of uncontrollable laughter.
Yes, the government is all powerful, but also not powerful enough, which is why Trump recently called for police to have a little purge to deal with rising crime.
Yeah. That's the first one I'm getting on Cop Purge Day.
Okay.
Litter bugs.
Yeah. Yeah.
You'd be supportive of like cops and vigilantes taking
Yes.
up that purge hour.
Yes.
No, Purge. You're pedophile? Pedophile
So
purge.
for an hour, the cops can do
1
whatever they
hour.
want.
It's the running of the pedophiles and the
Oh,
litter
we
bugs.
Can't do it too. I'd
Sign
love
up.
to be a part of that.
Sign up.
You're sort of pitching an unconstitutional Rumspringa.
What made Klepper's takedown so brutally effective wasn't just the jokes themselves. It was how he exposed the massive gap between Melania's carefully crafted image as a sophisticated former first lady and the reality of her role in Trump's political circus. The contrast between her serious promotion of the book and Klepper's comedic dismantling created the perfect comedy storm. The comedy storm Klepper created was about to get upgraded to a Category 5 hurricane thanks to Trump's inability to resist grabbing his phone. Instead of letting the jokes fade away naturally, Trump's furious and bizarrely worded defense of Melania's literary masterpiece would create exactly the opposite effect of what he intended. And honestly, isn't that just classic Trump? Imagine the scene. Donald Trump lounging in his gold-plated Mar-a-Lago chair, scrolling through social media when he stumbles across someone mocking his wife's literary genius. The veins in his forehead probably throbbed as he banged out his righteous defense, calling Klepper a talentless loser who can't get real laughs sad. Because nothing says presidential dignity like rage-tweeting insults at comedians. But the truly spectacular part of Trump's meltdown wasn't just the insults, it was his attempt to quote one of Klepper's jokes. Trump wrote, "Melania says you are naked in bed, and he says, and you are the first lady, good luck." Wait, what? Even his most loyal MAGA hat-wearing supporters were scratching their heads trying to decipher whatever the heck that word salad meant. It was like watching someone try to explain a joke they didn't understand while having a stroke. Trump's angry response created the textbook definition of what experts call the Streisand effect. When trying to suppress something only makes it more popular. Suddenly, people who hadn't even seen Klepper's original segment were rushing to watch it, wondering what could possibly have triggered such a presidential tantrum. The late-night comedy world smelled blood in the water and circled like sharks. Jimmy Kimmel dedicated a segment to reading Trump's rant in various silly voices, while Stephen Colbert performed dramatic readings of Melania's book, turning it into theatrical comedy gold. The original Klepper segment became just the appetizer in a full-course meal of Trump mockery. Social media exploded with memes faster than Trump could hit post on another angry tweet. Melania's memoir, which might have otherwise faded into the bargain bin of forgotten political books, was suddenly the hottest comedy source material since MyPillow Guy's election conspiracy theories. What started as a simple comedy bit had transformed into a cultural moment that transcended political divides. Even your aunt, who usually just posts cat photos and inspirational quotes, was suddenly sharing Trump joke memes. Beyond just a good laugh, this whole saga teaches us something major about modern politics. Comedians like Klepper might actually be our most effective truth tellers. When network news struggles to cut through the noise, a well-timed joke can crack open reality in ways straight reporting never could. What's fascinating is how comedy turns passive audiences into active participants. People who'd normally scroll past another Trump headline were suddenly engaging, sharing clips, and actually thinking about the implications. Laughter became a form of political engagement that crossed traditional dividing lines. So next time you see a politician squirming under a comedian's spotlight, remember, it's not just entertainment, it's accountability wearing a funny hat. And for all the power and bluster, nothing terrifies political figures more than becoming the butt of the joke. Turns out the court jester might be democracy's most valuable player after all.